Hey everyone, Editing Sylvia here. I just noticed that I do something very often, so before we start this video, I would like to propose a drinking game. If you would like to get super hammered, for what reason you might want to do that, I don't know, it's none of my business, but here it goes. Every time I say alright, take a drink, and every time I say alright so, down your drink. You can hate me later. Good luck. Hello fellow readers and readeresses, and welcome to the 15th installment of The Lord of the Reeds, the most precious TBR game. Today, I am almost entirely without a voice, so if it starts cracking at some point, please excuse me, there's nothing I can do about it. We will be picking my May TBR, and I am super excited about this because last month, the game was super nice to me. I only got 6 books, and I'm kinda hoping for the same thing again. Because for one thing, I'm a little late, I'm filming this on the 5th, but also May is shaping up to be a very busy month, so here's hoping for a smaller amount of books. If you don't know what The Lord of the Reeds is, it's a TBR game created by me, loosely inspired by The Lord of the Rings. If you want to learn more about it and how it came to be, I have a full playlist over here for you. Otherwise, I'm just gonna explain the rules right now because they're very simple. It all starts with 2 6-sided dice, which I roll 5 base times. I roll the dice, I move across the map counterclockwise, I land on a tile, and I select a book to correspond to the prompt on said tile. Speaking of tiles, there are several kinds, the first of which is the empty tile, which has no prompt, so when I land on it, I'm gonna pick a book from my bookshelf jar, which contains all the books that I currently own and haven't yet read. Now, there might be some books here that I've already read, but it's very difficult to keep updated a jar with over 300 books in it. Next, we have the 2024 TBR jar tile. When I land on this one, I'm gonna dip into the 2024 TBR jar. If you'd like to learn more about what's in this jar, you can watch this video. Next, we have the series jar tile. When we land on this one, I'm gonna dip into the series pot, which contains all series that I have currently kind of stuck in progress. Then we have the prompt cards tile. When I land on this one, I'm gonna select one of the prompt cards. There are over 50 of those, and each of them contains a special book related prompt. Next, we have all the genre tiles. We have fantasy, mystery and thriller, manga, graphic novel, science fiction, historical fiction, non-fiction, and classics. When I land on one of these tiles, I'm gonna have to select a book to correspond to the given genre. Then we have the +1 book tile. When I land on this one, I'm gonna have to dip into the bookshelf jar and add an extra roll to this month's TBR. There's one more case when I would add an extra roll to this month's TBR, and that is if I roll a double, which is also known as the Amanda rule, and if you'd like to know more about that name, you can watch this video. Then we have the bookstore tile. When I land on this one, I'm gonna go either to the bookstore or to the library and pick a book to read from there. And last, but definitely not least, we have the missions tile. When I land on this one, I usually select one of the mission cards, which were initially 9, but now there's only 1 left. Each of these cards contains a special reading related mission, upon the completion of which I unlock one of the characters from the Fellowship of the Reed. Up until last month, I had unlocked the characters of Gimli, Gandalf, Boromir, Merry, Frodo, Aragorn, and Legolas. And since last month, where I got the mission Second Breakfast, for which I needed to read a book split in parts, which I actually managed to complete, I also unlocked the character of Pippin. So that only leaves me 1 mission, and therefore 1 character in order to complete the Fellowship of the Reed. When that happens, I want to treat myself to a book haul since I am currently on a book buying ban, and there will be a surprise for all of you. If you would like to play The Lord of the Reeds for yourself, I have provided both printable and digital version in the video description. Enjoy! I think that's all I needed to get out of the way, so now the only thing left is to actually play the game. Roll number 1. Oh my god. And we have a 6. What a great start. Thanks, Amanda. Alright, clearly starting strong. This is where we ended up last time, so let's go from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we landed on the prompt cards. Alright, that was a strong start if there ever was one. Amanda decided to compensate for last time, I guess. I hope that's not a theme for today because that'd be very unfortunate. Alright, let's see. This one. A book with a cover the same color as your shirt. Alright, I am wearing black today, so let me go look at the books that I have and find something with a black cover. Shouldn't be that difficult. Alright, after doing a bit of a research, I decided to go with a book that I don't actually own, and that is The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is an adult fantasy mystery, if I understand correctly, and the first book in the Shadow of the Leviathan series. The book came out in February of this year and was on my most anticipated releases for 2024. I have never read anything by the author before, but I know that he wrote The Foundry Side, which is a very popular fantasy series. I've heard that it's very original and that he has a very nice writing style. I also was very gripped by the synopsis of this book, although since then I have kind of forgotten most of it, which is by design to an extent. I like to go in my books blind, and it helps that I don't have a very strong memory when it comes to synopsises? Whatever. As you can see, this version of the cover is almost entirely black, which is why I decided to go with it. Alright, roll number 1 is done, and I'm really happy with the choice that I made, although I am not very happy that I'm gonna have to add an extra roll to this month's TBR. Still, it could be way worse, so let's go into roll number 2. Oh wow, and we have a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we landed on the 2024 TBR jar. Nice. Alright, this is good. I need to make more progress in my 2024 TBR. I am a little bit behind on that, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. This one. Alright, Skyward. This is actually not bad. Titanic is book number 3 in the Skyward series, which is a young adult sci-fi by the one and only Brandon Sanderson. I read the first 2 books during the past 2 years, I think, and I absolutely loved both of them. If you like strange planets and fighter planes and first contact with aliens and weird scientific concepts, I think this one is gonna very much appeal to you. It's fast-paced and action-packed, and it's always a lot of fun to read. So I'm very much looking forward to reading this one. 2 books down, 4 more to go. So far, very good choices. I was really looking forward to continuing this series. Matter of fact, I was considering this book for prompt number 1, but I'm ultimately happy that I didn't pick it up because now I still get to read it. Let's go into roll number 3. And we have a 2. Great. Alright, let's go. 1, 2. Well, at least we landed on a graphic novel. Okay, we got a graphic novel, and picking this one took way longer than I initially anticipated because I don't own that many graphic novels, so picking something that I wanted to read was a little difficult. Luckily, I got a comment under my last video by one of my subscribers, Ash. I'm squinting because I'm not wearing glasses and it's all a little blurry, but the comment was about graphic novels and more specifically the Fables series, so I decided to go with Fables Volume 1, which is Legends in Exile if I'm not mistaken. I don't know much about these graphic novels besides the fact that they're urban fantasy fairy tale retellings, which sounds interesting enough to me, so I'm looking forward to checking them out. Alright, 3 rolls down, and somehow we still have 4 more to go. Let's go into roll number 4 and hope for the best. And no! Come on, no! And we have another 6. Oh, come on. This has got to be some kind of a joke. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we landed on the prompt cards again. I'm starting to get a little worried, to be honest with you, because as I mentioned, May is gonna be super busy. But anyways, let's go. A book with natural elements on the cover. Okay, that sounds pretty doable. Let me go check the covers that I have. I think I might have an idea. So, I made a decision that I'm not very sure whether it's smart or stupid given the circumstances, but I'm gonna go with The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan. This is an adult epic fantasy and the second book in the Wheel of Time series. As you know, if you've watched one of my few last videos, me and Gabby from Gabby Likes to Read are doing a buddy read of this series, which is why I'm gonna have to read this book in May anyway, and I think it's a good idea to put it on the TBR. It's a chunker, but I can do it. I think. I hope. I don't know. Alright, we are 4 books down, and somehow we still have 4 more to go. Amanda, what are you doing to me? Alright, let's go into roll number 5, I think. And we have a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no. No. This cannot be true, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. Listen, guys, this is not fun anymore. Okay, maybe a little bit. This one. Oh, The Starless Sea. Alright, this could be interesting. The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern is a fantasy book, I think, or magical realism. I'm not 100% sure. I've heard great things about this book, but I'm a little worried that the people who said great things about this book don't necessarily like the same books as I do. So I really have no idea what to expect here. I know it's written in a very lyrical style and not everything is what it seems to be. There's a lot of allegory in it as far as I understand. We'll see. I am hopeful that I might like it. I am a little worried that it's also not a small book. This month is gonna be terrible. Oh well, I'm looking forward to checking it out. Guys, listen to me. We have 5 books down and we still have 4 more to go. It's been a week. There's been 4 more to go. I can't do this anymore. All right, let's go into roll number, what, 6? 6. We have a 3. All right, 1, 2, 3. And we have prompt cards yet again. Cool, we managed to do 1 roll that didn't feature a double or landing on a +1 tile, so I call that a success. Let's see. A book with numbered chapters. I like that. Let me go check out my shelves. Okay, so I had to deliberate way longer than I initially anticipated because all the books that I wanted to read don't have numbered chapters. Yes, what can I do for you? Come here. Stop playing with the keys. Yeah, oh, 고고있잖아. Oh yeah, of course. Such a tough life you've got. Where was I? Oh yeah, so I finally decided on a book that I actually had already put on my TBR for a different reason, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But long story short, I decided to go with Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I will explain again later on why I decided to go for this one, but I did purchase the ebook and I checked just now and the chapters are numbered, so I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, so we have currently 6 books on the TBR and we still have, hopefully, only 3 more rolls. So let's go into roll number 7. And we have a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, nice! And we landed on the bookstore. Okay, so since I am currently still on a book buying ban, I'm gonna go to the library and pick a book to read from there, and I'm gonna inject the clip of myself doing so right now. So it's a few days later, and yes, I have been to the hairdresser. Thank you for noticing. I've been to the library, but I didn't film while I was there because my battery was dead. What I picked from there is a very short book by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and that is The Poison Belt. I will overlay the English cover over here because this is obviously the Bulgarian one. This is supposed to be kind of like historical fiction / science fiction, a continuation of The Lost World by the same author, which I've read and loved. It features the same characters and a possible global catastrophe, which sounds pretty interesting. I've never heard of it before, but I saw it, as I mentioned already. It's very short. I love the author's writing, so I was very happy to pick it up. All right, so what a great choice, don't you think? We are now at roll number 8, so let's get into it. And we have a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we landed on the 2024 TBR jar again. So let's see what the 2024 TBR jar has for me right now. This one. Remembrance of Earth's Past. Couldn't have picked a worse series. Give me a second. The Dark Forest by Cixin Liu is book number 2 in the Remembrance of Earth's Past series. This is an adult sci-fi, very heavy adult sci-fi that requires a lot of focus and brain power in order to fully understand. And believe me, in May, I don't think I'll be able to spare that kind of brain power for this book, but I'm gonna do my best. I really enjoyed book 1. It was very interesting. It was mind-blowing in a lot of ways. It was philosophical. It was historical. There was a lot of science in it. So I am looking forward to reading this, maybe not this month, but nevertheless, I'm gonna give it a try. I think. Okay, so we gathered 8 books on my May TBR so far, and I really hope we only have one more roll to go. Please God, let it be only one. Let's go for roll number 9. No. Oh. We have a 10. Nice. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again? Prompt cards for the 4th time, maybe? Guys, I don't know what to do anymore. This is not, all right? It just isn't. At least we landed on the prompt cards again, and I get to pick the book that I'm gonna read. Hopefully the prompt is not gonna be too specific. A book with romance. I can do that. I can do that. Alright, so I made the executive decision that if I'm gonna pick a book that features romance, it's gonna be a real romantic book and by an author I actually like, and the book is gonna be Persuasion by Jane Austen. This is a classic romance and that's pretty much all I know about it. I haven't read it before. It's one of the few Jane Austen books that I haven't yet read and I've been wanting to do it for the longest time and I'm gonna do it now. Plus, it's not very long. It's less than 300 pages, so I think it could be doable. It's doable to read this one. It's just in the context of the entire TBR, it's going to be difficult, but I'm going to give it a try anyway because who doesn't like a challenge, right? Right. So, book number 9 has been selected. I am happy with that choice. And now we're going to go into roll number 10. And I'm not going to say anything about it. And we have a 5. So far, so good. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we landed on mystery/thriller. Good. All right, so I checked the thrillers that I already have, and while there are some that I really want to read, I'm a little afraid that I'm not going to be able to spare the necessary time and focus in order to be able to fully enjoy them, which is why I decided to go with something that is tried and true, something that I'm sure that I'm going to enjoy and I can read quickly, and that is Agatha Christie. I'm going to go with Poirot Investigates. I think this is book number 3 in the Hercule Poirot series, which I've been reading on and off, and this is the next book that I need to pick up. I have read some later books in the series, but I decided to go in chronological order so that I can see if there's any overarching plot for the entire series, which I'm starting to suspect after reading the big 4. Anyway, this is the book that I'm gonna go with. I'm really happy with this choice. I really hope I have the time to actually read it. And so my monthly TBR for May is going to include The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett, Cytonic by Brandon Sanderson, Fables Volume 1 by various authors, The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan, The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, The Poison Belt by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, The Dark Forest by Cixin Liu, Persuasion by Jane Austen, Poirot Investigates by Agatha Christie, and Full Metal Alchemist Volume 7 by Hiromu Arakawa. But wait, there's more, because every single month I participate in 2 monthly reading challenges. Adventure in Eldia created by G from Book Roast, and the Buzzword Reading Challenge created by Kayla from Books and Lala. Both of them are going to be linked in the video description. For the Adventure in Eldia Reading Challenge, the prompt for May is having multiple L's in the book title. There are multiple prompts that you can pick from, but I picked this one, and for that, I'm going to read Full Metal Alchemist Volume 7. 7? This is a lovely manga series that I've talked about ad nauseum, so I won't do it again, but I decided to go with this one, first of all because it has multiple L's in the title, but also because it is a manga and it's easy to read, and I really need an easy win this month because it's gonna be difficult. And the prompt for the Buzzword Reading Challenge for May is the word every, so for that one I'm gonna go with Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. This is why I decided to pick this one earlier, and I actually thought about it after one of my subscribers, Cornelia, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, she left a comment under my latest video mentioning Riley Sager and how people who usually love Ruth Ware dislike Riley Sager and vice versa, and being that I pretty much detest Ruth Ware's writing, I think this one actually might be for me, so I'm gonna give it a try. Thank you, Cornelia, once again for mentioning it. This was the best way to sell me this author. So if I'm not mistaken, that makes a total of 11 books on my TBR, but it's actually worse because I have 3 leftovers from April, which makes it 14 books on my TBR, and there is absolutely no way in hell I'm gonna manage to read all of that. But I can promise you, I'm gonna do my best and give it a try. and we'll see. The most I'm hoping for is to actually be able to read a few good books this month, and I think that's the best we can all hope for. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please let me know what's on your May TBR and whether you've read any of these books, and if you have any opinion on them, spoiler free of course. Thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to see my April wrap-up, check out this video. Bye.